So you're getting ready for your university applications, laser-focused on crushing your exams. But what if I told you there's another game happening in the background? A hidden, strategic game that has nothing to do with your grades, but everything to do with your future. Knowing the rules is going to make all the difference.
Okay, so your big exams are just 2 months out. You're probably head down studying like crazy. But here's the thing. There's a hidden trap in the application process that could make all that hard work, well, a lot less effective. And you really need to know about it before you pick your 6 schools.
You see, the whole application process is basically 2 parts. Stage 1 is all about your exam scores. But Stage 2, that's where you get interviews, special tests, things like that. And that second stage is exactly where the trap is hiding. We're talking about scheduling clashes.
And this brings us to this idea of second stage exclusivity. Here's how it works. The top universities, they know they're all fighting over the same top students, you. So what do? They intentionally schedule their interviews for the most competitive departments on the exact same day. It's a power move, and it forces you, the applicant, to pick just one, long before you even have an offer.
And trust me, this is not some rare thing. It happens all the time, especially in the most popular fields. Just look at medicine. You've got a whole bunch of the best schools all scheduling their interviews on May 16th. Same story for electrical engineering on the 17th. You could be perfectly qualified for every single one of them, but you can only physically be in one place at one time. You're forced to just drop opportunities you totally earned.
And if you're thinking, wow, that seems really unfair, well, you're right, it is. It's a known flaw in the system, and it puts a major limit on your choices. Now, this isn't on you, it's a problem with the system itself. But since we can't just snap our fingers and fix it, we have to learn how to play the game.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. It's time to stop being a victim of the system and start being a strategist. The key? You've got to start thinking in terms of probabilities. So, you get 6 choices on your application. And the classic advice you always hear is to balance them out, right? 2 dream schools that are a bit of a stretch, 2 level schools where you're a solid fit, and 2 safety schools where you're pretty much a shoo-in. Seems simple enough.
But this is where that whole clash game throws a wrench in the works. What happens if your long-shot dream school decides to hold its interview on the same day as one of your pretty solid level schools? How does that actually impact your chances of getting in somewhere?
The answer is, it costs you. On average, that clash costs you a 12% drop in your overall probability of success. Yeah, 12%. Let's say your level school is a 60% chance, and your dream school is a 20% shot. The second their interview dates clash, your odds get worse.
Let me break that down. Your solid 60% chance at that level school effectively drops all the way down to 48%. Now, why is that? Well, there's a 20% chance you'll get the interview for your dream school. If that happens, you have to give up your 60% shot at the other school. So you take that 20% risk and you multiply it by the 60% opportunity you're forced to abandon. That's how you lose that 12%. That is the real mathematical cost of a clash. Okay, so knowing that, how in the world do we build a smarter application list? Well, it all comes down to a clear method for allocating your 6 choices, one that's designed to cut your risk and boost your potential.
Here's the playbook, a 3-part strategy. First, for your 2 dream schools. Hey, if they clash with each other, it's fine. The odds of getting into both are so tiny anyway that the risk is minimal. Second, your level schools. Be really careful here. Ideally, only one of them should have a potential clash. And finally, your 2 safety schools. These are non-negotiable. They must have 0 clashes with any of your other choices. These are your insurance policy. You have to protect them.
So think of your 6 choices just like this, a perfectly balanced 2-2-2 portfolio. Each part has a different job. The dreams are for shooting for the stars. The levels are your realistic shot. And the safeties, they're your guarantee. And making sure that guarantee is safe from clashes is absolutely the most important thing.
But there's one final twist to this whole game. One last piece of the puzzle that makes all of this a bit more of, well, a high-stakes gamble.
So think about this for a second. If everyone knows that certain top departments always have scheduling clashes, what's going to happen? A lot of students are going to avoid them, right? They don't want to take the risk. So, does that mean if you apply to one of these exclusive departments, you might actually face less competition and have a better chance of passing stage 1? The answer is probably yeah.
But that leads us to the huge, unanswerable question. By how much? Does having fewer applicants raise your chances by 5%? 10%? Is that little boost in stage 1
Worth the massive risk of a definite clash in stage 2?
And the honest-to-goodness answer is, it's a gamble. Nobody knows for sure. The numbers change every single year based on what thousands of other students decide to do. So here's the real takeaway. You have to go in with your eyes open. Understand the math, protect your safety schools at all costs, and then, if you choose to, take a calculated risk. That is how you play and how you win the university application clash game.